70 million acres of wide open possibilities. Nevada is untouched. A place where the desert comes to life, the ground holds the history, and nature perseveres.
All kinds of little sparrows and songbirds, northern flickers.
I grab a pair of binoculars to explore the rich wildlife along the Amargosa River.
Basically, winemaking is very simple. You add yeast.
I visit an award-winning winery in the middle of the Mojave Desert.
It's designed to be peaceful, isn't it?
It's designed to be peaceful, yes.
In Wells, peace and solitude are called Cottonwood Ranch.
All right, it's a little different for me, I'll be honest with you. Never done this before.
And I go on a camel safari right here in Mesquite, Nevada.
With one of the most spectacular views.
I'm John Burke. Join me as I explore the 7th largest state in the nation, here on Outdoor Nevada.
Today I'm heading out to the Amargosa River Valley. I'm meeting with Len Warren. He's with the Nature Conservancy. And he's going to tell us all about the river system out there and all the birds that are in that area. Oh, you're going to love this guy. They don't call him the Birdman for nothing.
In Oasis Valley, the Amargosa River runs close to its origin, Beatty, Nevada. The marshes here provide a sustainable community for wildlife, including local and migratory birds.
Len, how are you?
Hey,
Good to see you.
good to see you too.
A bird aficionado, Len Warren works for the Nevada chapter of the Nature Conservancy as the Amargosa River Project Manager.
Tell me about the Amargosa River and this valley and this whole system here.
This right here where we are is the Nature Conservancy's preserve, which is in Oasis Valley, and which is a section of the Amargosa River.
And what kind of birds do you normally encounter when you come out here?
This section right here of the river, we often can find water birds like a great blue heron. This morning we just saw a nice red-tailed hawk. Owls early in the morning, sometimes in the daytime they can be hiding in here. All kinds of little sparrows and songbirds, northern flickers, beautiful red, bright red underwings, which is a medium-sized woodpecker.
The National Audubon Society designated Beatty and the Oasis Valley as an IBA, Important Bird Area. The valley supports 21 bird species listed as priorities on the Nevada Partners in Flight Conservation Plan.
You have always liked this, haven't you?
Yes, since I was a little boy, I've been just focused on birds, and it's been a great thing for me in my life.
Why?
To me, it's something that is like completely outside myself. It doesn't have anything to do with me. It takes my mind off of daily life and problems, and it's a never-ending subject matter.
What tools do you use when you come out here to get the peak experience?
To really get good looks at birds, a good set of binoculars is important. And for someone who hasn't done it before, to get well practiced with them so that they can get a good look at a bird, you know, pretty much whenever they want.
Bird field guides and smartphone apps come in handy for identifying distinct species. Some apps even have features that recognize birds through vocal cues.
So this peaceful, beautiful place is called the Torrance Ranch. Tell me about it.
This is a property owned by the Nature Conservancy. As you can see, it's a beautiful shady spot with trees, and right down here we've got a beautiful spring that's one of the tributaries to the Amargosa River.
One of the longest underground rivers in the country, the Amargosa runs for 125 miles until it dissipates in Death Valley, the lowest point below sea level in the USA. The river supports creatures found nowhere else, like the Oasis Valley speckled dace and the Amargosa vole.
Tell me about some of the birds that come through here. What kind of species? Are they migratory?
A lot of people love to look for migratory warblers, and warblers are really small birds, quite colorful. It's kind of like a giant Easter egg hunt. They each have their own little pattern, and it's very fun to get good looks at them and If you haven't seen a particular one before, when you finally get a good look, it's one more check for your list, and it's part of the fun and the sport of bird watching.
Warblers migrate through Oasis Valley during the spring and fall. As they settle down for the season, they sing from the cottonwoods and fly over the marshlands chasing insects.
What is your favorite bird?
My favorite bird is a bird called a phainopepla, which is a small desert songbird with a beautiful big crest and a bright red eye, and it's a shiny black bird.
Phainopeplas use the ability to mimic other birds when under distress from prey or human handling. They can reproduce at least 12 different bird calls.
This is just south of Torrance Ranch, and this is the Spicer Ranch. So you can see there's stacks of birds out there, a lot of different kinds of blackbirds, meadowlarks. We saw a roadrunner over here, all kinds of birds of prey coming through here. So Spicer Ranch is really a great place to check out different birds in a really interesting habitat.
And it is available to the public.
Yeah, it's open to the public. Birders are welcome here as long as they park over in the parking lots and walk around the ranch. They're welcome to enjoy it and see a lot of birds here.
With its flourishing ponds, Spicer Ranch provides a safe haven for wading birds and the endangered Amargosa toad.
What are your ideas for the future of this area?
Well, with my job for the Nature Conservancy, I hope to enhance the habitats along the river in the riparian areas, to increase the density of the trees and the patch size of the vegetation areas, to provide the best possible habitat that we can for wildlife without hurting the downstream water.
Well, the whole river system has got the right man for the job. Thank you for everything you're doing, and thank you for that gift as well.
Thanks, John.
Part of Nye County, the Pahrump Winery replaces southern Nevada desert shrubs with fruitful vineyards. The grapes not only thrive in this barren climate, they also produce some award-winning wines.
I want you to meet Gretchen. She's part owner of this place, and she knows everything you need to know about wine. Nice to see you. Thanks for having us today.
My pleasure, John.
Now, give me a little history about the winery, because I don't think a lot of people think of Pahrump and wine. So when did this all begin?
You are right. That's the first question people walk in our doors. Oh my God, why are you here? Why are you in Pahrump of all places? Winery started back in 1990. And back then there were no wineries in the state. And here's the deal. When you think about a winery, you think about acreage to grow grapes. Land here, obviously much cheaper than Las Vegas. You think of water. That word Pahrump means water from rocks. We have an abundance of water here. And then you think of a nice little day trip to the country. So that's really how it got here back in 1990.
With a glass half full type of personality, Gretchen Loken has run the winery alongside her husband Bill since 2003.
Had you been involved in wine before this?
Not at all. I knew how to drink, okay? But other than that, no. We came 100% from outside the wine industry, looked at it as kind of a new challenge, something new and different to do, and here we are.
And how much wine do you produce here?
We do about 10,000 cases a year, which sounds like a lot, but in the scheme of things, we are a teeny little boutique winery.
So boutique acreage-wise, what does that mean?
On property, we have about 1.5 acres. Total of Nevada grapes right now, we're working with about 15 acres or so, soon to be about 25 acres, which is really small compared to other states and the acreages that they have.
But that's part of its charm. I want to learn more about the process. Will you take me in there and just show me what we're doing?
Growing grapes in the desert is no easy feat, but the Lokens have been putting the task to the test. In 2005, the winery harvested 1.5 tons of Zinfandel grapes, while in 2016, the production of Nevada grapes reached 30 tons.
Tell me about the science of making wine. How does this work?
Okay, basically you harvest your grapes, then you're gonna look at your sugar levels, you're gonna look at your acid levels, you're gonna look at kind of the chemistry of the grape. Basically, winemaking is very simple. You add yeast.
And I know the climate's a big deal, right? Because sometimes it has to be hot, you gotta get the right moisture.
Absolutely, climate's huge. Mother Nature's in control. We're not in control here. So climate is huge. We, being in the middle of the desert, have to grow grapes that love the sunshine. Soil's also important. You know, we're on this rocky, sandy, alluvial fan here. So again, we're gonna grow those grapes that like that kind of soil.
And so it's very, very seasonal too, right?
Very seasonal. Basically, what'll happen is as the shoot grows, then you'll get a grape flower. Then grapes are self and wind pollinating, so they open up and and they look spiky like a dandelion. Then they're gonna start getting into the fruit set stage. So it's gonna look like a little cluster of BBs. Then we're gonna go to green peas. Then for us, beginning of June, mid-June, they'll start getting ripe. So they'll start turning purple since these are Zinfandel grapes. They'll get a little bigger, the skin's gonna get a little softer, the balance of the acids and everything in the grape is gonna change. And then usually the end of July, beginning of August, we're out here harvesting.
How long do they sit in the bottle? Because that's part of the process too, right?
Absolutely. They typically, once they're harvested, then they're fermented, then they're gonna age in a barrel for about a year, year and a half, then they're gonna go to the bottle. Being a red wine, typically they're gonna hang out in a bottle for about 6 months, then you can start drinking them. So you're looking at about a year and a half to a 2-year window from the time you harvest a red grape to the time you can start drinking it.
In 2008, the Pahrump Winery released the first commercial red wine ever produced in the state of Nevada. Since then, every bottle has contained a large amount of patience, nurture, and the Locan's endless dedication.
You're obviously very passionate about this, and that's awesome. What exactly is it you love?
I love being outside. Being in the vineyard is my favorite part of it. There is just something so wonderfully rewarding about watching something grow, knowing you had a part in how it grew. And then once it's grown, then you produce it, and then people come and they like it, and they enjoy it, and seeing that satisfaction in their face, it's like, that's just, I made that, and you like it. So that is just so cool that happens.
It is really cool, and I see it just coming off your face how much you really enjoy it. And you have a festival, don't you?
do.
Tell me about that.
We have a grape stomping festival. At the end of the season, you have a festival to celebrate that harvest is over, all the hard work, everything that came to fruition. So we do our grape stomping festival, and it's basically a big old party for the day to celebrate the end of harvest.
That's always been like something I've wanted to do.
I think we can do that. You got some good feet there. We'll see how much
Really?
juice.
Can we do that?
We can do that.
Let's smash some grapes.
Okay.
The practice of grape stomping can be traced back to the Roman Empire. It was part of the maceration process, in which color and flavor were extracted from the grape's skin, seeds, and stems.
Now, you own this joint. How many times have you done this?
Never.
What?
So this is a history, because I'm always working, so I never get to stomp.
How can that be?
So today I get to stomp.
Well, stick around with me, kid.
We're both rookies.
All right.
Okay.
What do?
We step in.
All right.
You can use your rail to hold on to.
Okay.
So you don't slip. And then
Wow.
you smush. So you see how much juice you can smush.
I don't know how I feel about this. It's really weird. It's really, I can't explain it. There is no other feeling. All right, so in your festival, you actually have a contest.
We do. We have a contest to see who can stomp the most juice.
All right.
So you stomp for 2 minutes, which doesn't sound like much, but try doing this as fast as you can for 2 minutes and getting as much juice as you can, and then we measure the juice.
Following the footsteps of other Nevada wine pioneers, Bill and Gretchen are making their own history in this charming corner of the Pahrump Valley. As they like to say, the Locans and their wines are bringing gold to the Silver State.
Moment of truth.
Here we go.
Bragging rights.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, look at how much I got. All right, you ready?
I'm ready if I don't
All right.
spill it.
In the measuring cup, because
in
it's
the
not gonna
measuring cup. Oh my
Look
gosh,
at it,
you're
look
gonna
at it.
need another one.
You want some of mine? Oh, you too. You too. I think we're tied.
I think you got a smidge more.
Really?
Really? Yeah.
No, I got to give it to you. You tied. You tied. I think you won. I think you
we
won.
both won.
Either way, I'm not drinking that for a long time.
I'm never drinking this.
You are so much fun. Thank you so much for having us out here today. Really appreciate it. Beautiful, beautiful spot. And you got a lot of good things going on here. So I wish you continued success.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely.
Come again anytime.
You know I will. Northeast Nevada is a very remote place. I mean, there is nothing around for miles. But if you'll go just a little bit further than you think you're supposed to, you can stay at the Cottonwood Ranch, a place of chores and solitude.
Combined raw nature, remote land, and a full inhale of fresh air, and there you have it. The perfect refuge just outside of Wells, Nevada.
Hey, G, nice seeing you.
John, welcome to Cottonwood Ranch.
Wow, what a place. What a place. And you know what? This place has such a good feeling to it. How long has it been here?
It was part of larger holdings that my great-grandfather bought from the O'Neill family that settled this. Then in the 50s, 52, my folks moved on here, and they took it from being a cow camp, basically, and they've developed it into its own ranch.
What I love about what you just said is this isn't something you just picked up in the real estate section. This has been in your family for generations.
Yes, yeah, I'm the 4th generation. My daughter is 5th, and I've got 2 little grandsons running around here that are 6th.
A.G. Smith manages the property with his family and enjoys watching his grandchildren growing up in the very same place he was born and raised.
So, A.G., let's talk about the lodge here, because traditionally this has been a place where people can make a reservation, come and stay, yeah?
It is. We built it in 2003. It came up in the footprint of an older building we had there that was built and designed basically for hunting, because that was really our recreation business before the 80s, and we started expanding. So we're going to just remodel it, and it ended up being a total tear it down and start over again type of a thing. The only thing that's left, there's still that fireplace in there as part of the old building. My grandfather and father built that fireplace from rocks that are up here on the mountain.
The Smith family has grown deep roots in this land. Cottonwood Ranch continues to reinvent itself, generation after generation.
What are some of the activities that people engage in?
Well, we are first and foremost a working cattle ranch, and we've opened our doors to guests to come in and participate. We don't call ourselves a dude ranch because it isn't all geared around the guest. It's truly a place for guests to come and see what a working cattle ranch is about if they want, or to just enjoy the nature and hiking. And we have the Jarbidge Wilderness sits here to the west in these mountains.
The first wilderness area to be protected in the state, Jarbidge ranks as one of the least visited areas in the lower 48.
It's designed to be peaceful, isn't it?
It's designed to be peaceful, yes. I mean, you can look forever and not see another house or
How close is your closest neighbor?
8 miles.
8 miles.
Yeah.
You ever open up the window and say, hey, turn it down, will you?
Don't need to do that. Yeah, don't need to do that.
The place that has brought so much joy to A.G. and his family can now serve a larger purpose.
We've started a program to work with veterans, to give veterans a space to come and enjoy what's here, sort of to reboot. We're raising the funds so that it doesn't cost the veteran anything.
And you've already tried this. You've sort of had a pilot program. Some veterans have come out, and how did it go?
They went out and gathered cows with us 2 times. They worked with a colt that had never been handled before. That horse-human connection is absolutely amazing. And getting into the mindset to work with an animal, totally being present in that moment and working with them is extremely good for the soul.
When you find yourself on the 30,000 plus acres of the Cottonwood Ranch, everyday problems seem to get smaller by the minute.
One of the things that we try to do out here is to move our animals around their grazing allotment so that they're never on one piece of land too long. And in this instance here, we're taking some horses off the private that have been on there quite a while. We're adding them to some horses on the range. Then they'll pick all of those horses up and they'll move them to another spot on our allotment where they'll be grazing.
And what we're talking about now is something that people that stay here at the ranch, they'd be involved in this.
They would. And people that come to the ranch and get involved, they really want to know that what they've done that day has made a difference. It's helped us in some way. Move the cows, move the horses. So there's a feeling of accomplishment. The other one is people are very concerned about the environment and where they live and what's going on this land. And so they really appreciate what's going on here and they really value learning about it. One of our goals is to prove that you can have a lot of grazing and have really healthy rangelands at the same time.
And I'm sure people come out here and they get to work on chores like this and they just relax, they breathe the clean air, and it just changes them inside and out. You put a good face on ranching.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for taking me out here today. I really appreciate it. I'm going to tell everybody I know about this place.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
The ranch draws a straight line between humans and nature, a connection that echoes all the way around in this remote and rewarding piece of Nevada.
Some people say there's not much in Northeast Nevada. At the Cottonwood Ranch, that's the best part.
Author Michael Ondaatje once wrote that the desert could not be claimed or owned, that it shifted like cloth, and had 100 shifting names. This mysterious beauty once entranced the adventurer T.E. Lawrence, the famous Lawrence of Arabia.
Have you ever thought about what it'd be like to be riding through the desert? You know, like Lawrence of Arabia, making your way to the Oasis? Well, this is Nevada. We've got the desert. All we need are the camels. Wait a minute. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
From my authentic desert riding experience, I've traveled out to Camel Safari. This enormous farm lies in the picturesque land between the Virgin River and the Great Basin, about an hour outside of Las Vegas.
Guy, how are you, buddy?
Pretty good, John. Yourself?
I'm great. All right, you got to tell me about this Camel Safari. What's going on here?
Few things. We do camel rides, we do off-road Segway tours, and we do camel encounters, all on our property.
Guy Seacless has been raising camels since 2010 and now shares his love of the animals with the public here in Mesquite, Nevada.
So what does the camel encounter entail?
The camel encounter is a meet and greet with the animals. It's touchy-feely, as in hands-on. And we start with an educational piece in our visitor center, teaching people about where camels come from, the different species of camelids. We have saddles, we have fiber, we have different types of cowbells, like camel cowbells. We've got a little miniature collection of stuff. But we teach people more than they want to know about camels.
What about the land here? Tell me how big the land is.
We have 176 acres around us. We're bordered by the BLM on all sides. The Virgin River goes through our property and perfect views of the Virgin Mountains.
And how long are the camel rides?
Camel rides are 45 minutes, preceded by the camel encounter, which is 30 to 45 minutes.
I haven't seen anything like this. I'm ready to get started. Take a closer look.
Let's go.
Camel Safari boasts a stock of 29 of these gentle giants. All the camels go by name and keep Guy and his crew constantly busy.
Now, what do I need to know about getting on these animals?
Just like riding a horse, except bigger. Swing the right leg over and just keep the weight underneath you and sit back and enjoy and relax.
All right, it's a little different for me. I'll be honest with you. Never done this before. What is their general disposition? Is it like a horse?
Calmer. Camels are calmer than horses. They're more affectionate. They're easier to train, and they're also more intelligent.
I get to ride Raider, a very laissez-faire camel, to be sure. He has a relaxed disposition, perfect for a camelid novice like myself.
This absolutely answers the question of what it'd be like to be Lawrence of Arabia. This is the best thing ever, ever.
Raider has one hump, which means he's a dromedary. Two hump camels are called Bactrian. His hanging lower lip is a sign of happiness.
So the camels, tell me more about them. Where do they come from?
Believe it or not, camels, just like horses, originated in North America.
Really?
Really. Camelids have been in North America for 40 million years, starting off as little forest-dwelling guys.
There are none in the wild, is that right?
No dromedaries exist in the wild. There are still wild Bactrian camels in the world. There are more pandas in the world than there are wild Bactrian camels.
Wow.
In existence.
And what's in the hump? It's not water?
It's fat. An average hump should have 80 pounds and it should be fat.
What's the deal with the water? How far can they go without it?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. No wonder they look chapped. They look a little parched.
The safari has more attractions to it than just the camels. It's hard not to fall in love with the desert landscape. The sandy hills and mountain backdrops cast a spell over its travelers.
If you want something different and you want to do it outdoors, this is it. I've never seen anything like this around.
Exactly. I mean, look at that. How's that for a view?
Do you do evening rides, sunset rides?
We are just about to start a sunset ride, which will be along the river. And that will be our romantic option. the sunset.
And just like that, my desert adventure comes to a close. I can definitely see what T.E. Lawrence loved about these dry lands, and I certainly have a newfound admiration for my traveling companion, Raider.
This is absolutely a bigger and better experience than you can even imagine. The scenery is awesome, the people are great, and these animals are just a beautiful thing to behold.
Support for Outdoor Nevada comes from Jaguar Land Rover Las Vegas and Jaguar Land Rover Reno, inspiring the spirit of adventure with confidence in any terrain or conditions. Information at jlrlv.com or jlrreno.com.